Now, I wanted to teach you guys some cool tricks over here. This is a great way to understand without even knowing where anything about the company. So each individual ETF or equity is listed somewhere. It could be listed on the Nasdaq, on the New York Stock Exchange, on the Amex, things like that. Here is a cool trick for you guys to know what is it. So if there are four character symbols, okay, so your Apple, Tesla, these are the ones that are listed on NASDAQ. So if there are four characters in the ticker, okay, remember this, if there are four characters in the ticker, it is listed on NASDAQ, okay? If it is three or less, okay, so if it is three or less, your Boeing, your Coca-Cola, things like that. Now those are listed on the New York Stock Exchange and Amex, okay? I don't know if you guys, any of you knew that before, but if you didn't, this is some great information for you guys, because now without even looking anything much, just looking at the ticker straight, you can tell if it's traded on the NASDAQ, if it's traded on the New York Stock Exchange, or where. So this really helps out when you're trading, when you're looking to, okay, there might be more volume, less volume, a lot of good stuff, but now you can just look at the ticker and know, oh, that's on the NASDAQ because it's got four. Oh, that's on the Amex or New York Stock Exchange because it's got three or less. Okay, so another example, like let's say Pfizer, things like that. And this one can come in handy sometimes for some investors, but just so you guys know, there's sometimes a fifth character. I don't know if you've ever noticed, there's sometimes names and then there might be a dot and a fifth character. So that gives you some other information. If it's F, it's a foreign entity, okay? If there's J, it has voting rights. If it has K, that means you could own the shares, but you're not eligible to vote. Your shares are non-voting. And sometimes you'll even see Qs, which are your bankruptcy procedures. And it's important to know because sometimes look names at that are on small caps, some other companies that are going bankrupt, but sometimes people hear about them or decide to buy them. But hey, you might want to check. Maybe they're filing a bankruptcy. Maybe they're not compliant. Why go down that road? So now you already have the information to be aware about. Okay. OTCs are traded on either New York Stock Exchange or Amex. Okay, so good question. So I'll talk about that real quick. We have another thing called OTC, which means over the counter. So as the name suggests, it means they're only traded over a counter. They're not regulated by the NASDAQ. They're not regulated by New York Stock Exchange or Amex. It's a completely different market. So when you see a name, how you will see it is wherever it says listed, usually 5 characters is usually OTC. So 5 characters are usually your OTCs. AV, BFF, things like that are usually your OTC. OTC market is over the counter. Again, these are companies that are not they're not compliant enough to be listed on the NASDAQ. They don't meet NASDAQ or Amex or New York Stock Exchange requirements. There might not be some filings. There might be some other financial reasons. There's tons of requirements that companies have to meet to be listed there. So these might not be meeting them. Over-the-counter stocks, you want to be careful because these are your stocks that are, usually lower in value. Sometimes there's funny stuff there. Sometimes there's not. It's a different market. So people who are interested in penny stocks, who are interested in, stocks under $1, OTC market is where you want to look. That's where you'll find. And again, OTC market is just like, you're not even scratching the surface. There's pink sheets, there's blue sheets, there's different kinds of lists under OTC market that categorize them as good to worst. So everything on the OTC market is also further categorized in different lists of pink sheets and things like that, where they are popular, they're not popular, or they're not good, or they have no information. So price can also be a big factor because it's over the counter, so it's not like fully regulated. Somebody can buy it, or sometimes you may not be able to sell it. There might not be someone on the other side who wants to buy it. Whereas with names on the NASDAQ and all, there's a market maker taking care of all these things. Over the counter market does not have that. So if you're someone who's interested in penny stocks, who's interested in things like this, you will basically want to make sure that you understand over-the-counter market a little bit better, just so you guys are careful. All right, but that's a great question. I'll talk about the tax advantage. I have your question, Cynthia. Just give me 1 minute. I'll get to it. All right, cool. So let me clear this out real quick. So hopefully, guys, you guys seeing the different, variety of different options you guys have. It's not just about a very basic, very simple, just equities. There's a lot more that goes to it.